What's going on? We are back for another Mon Juan Monday. Not quite as mega this week as the previous weeks. Only 2 streams today instead of 3.
Thank God.
I know. A little sigh of relief for sure.
Yeah.
But still, a very festive Mon Juan Monday nonetheless. We're about 15. Yeah, we're 15 minutes late starting. It's completely my fault, but it's my birthday, so I get to do whatever I want today.
You're damn right it is. That's why it's festive. Bong, bong, bong. John's birthday.
But yeah, I'm very excited to be spending my birthday this evening with the two of you, of course. And yeah, I'm super pumped to talk about Survivor. This season's been crazy. I felt like this week was crazy. This past week was crazy. So I can't wait to get into it with you guys. So let's kick this sucker off, Thank you, Matt. It's my birthday. Oh, man. Yes. My name is John Dunphy. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow tribe mates, Mr. Kyle Petty and Miss Gina Morgino. Unfortunately, we are down a man tonight. We are missing our buddy Mikey. He had better things to do. So it's just the 3 of us on a journey. But we are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at Strat Chat Pod. We are all over the place, including Blue Sky, even if it's a little quiet there. We're still there. So, yeah, we'll kick Mon Juan Monday off with Miss Cynthia.
Mon Juan Monday.
And then, before we get into the episode, I'd like to petition Gina, because it is my birthday.
How dare you?
And I'd like a present for my birthday, and I would like it to be I'd like it to be one. So what do you say, Gina? It's my birthday.
You use your birthday against me for Lidl. How fucking dare you?
That is so
That's all I asked for.
And what
That's all I want for my birthday.
What is she
one
do?
Lidl.
Stop! You're stressing me out.
Still not gonna get it.
Yeah, not gonna get it. Wow. All right.
File this under birthday blunder. That's why you have all night. You just hit us with a surprise Lidl, no pressure.
Sure.
We got this stream, got another one after this. Whole night to Lidl. And we'll be waiting.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna be waiting all night. All night. So, all right. Where to even begin? Yeah, right. So I gotta say, I'm loving that we got this tribe swap. I'm loving the 90-minute episodes of Survivor because I feel like it's giving us so much like individual tribe time. So I kind of tried to like break down. Kyle, you disagree?
Well, right out of the gate, I did have the thought that like if I'm going to have a 90-minute episode, I don't know why we have to keep straying so far. I understand that this is a new era of Survivor. We're doing some things differently, but when I got 90 minutes in Australia, I just got old-fashioned Survivor. I got tribe chatter, reward challenge, chatter, immunity challenge, chatter, and tribal. I don't need these journeys. I don't need the hike and the amulet, and I don't want to skip ahead and all this. But I'm tired. I don't like all these twists now. Like I'm done. Just give me plain old-fashioned Survivor for 90 minutes, and I swear I'd be more interested. I'm not disinterested, but I'm annoyed. Like I want to see. Yeah, that's all.
I think that's totally fair. I guess the way that I'm looking at, like the reason that I was bringing it up, that I'm enjoying it so far this season is just because like I think we know that what we get with the American Survivor with some of these twists and journeys and stuff. So like I do think at least this season it's been better getting the extra time and like kind of getting more of a breakdown from each tribe and stuff and like things like that.
As a whole,
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yes.
But I agree with you because the longer Australian Survivor episodes that we get are just like always chock full of like action and strategy and like so I definitely agree with you, but
Because it feels like to me, like even some of those reward challenges when people don't put up like they're supposed to is what fuels some of the fire and the immunity. And now who doesn't win it? It is the sour grapes that we get from the poor reward challenge performance that fuels what goes on at Tribal. Just like with Big Brother, we missed the food challenges. Like, where's the have not competitions? That's where some of those fights started. Like, oh, because so and so isn't pulling their weight is why I'm still eating slop. That's all.
Yeah.
Reward challenges are not just for funsies. They definitely do affect the politics of things. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I totally
so
agree.
does the journey, you know, if you want to. Sensing my own opinion here.
Well, I tried to like organize my notes tonight. So like,
okay.
It felt like we were getting like a Reba segment, then a Lulu segment, then a Bello segment, and then we would like revisit each tribe. So I tried to like organize my notes so that we could go tribe by tribe, like full notes on this tribe, full notes on this one, then the challenge, then the journey, then the tribal. So I'm hoping I did a good job organizing my notes for tonight. So
okay, no, let's see what you got.
So we started off with Reba. They came back from their last tribal council where Sean left. And he asked to leave, basically quit, but there was some drama that was brought about in the votes because Dee still voted for Sifu, and then Sean told Sifu that he did not vote for him on Sean's way out. So what do you think about this kind of mess? Any like thoughts on this? Like, obviously, all three of Dee, J. Maya, and Julie denied putting the vote on Sifu. They all said they voted for Sean. But like, it still doesn't add up because somebody obviously voted for Sifu and somebody voted for Dee. So it's not possible that they all could have voted for Sean. So like, what do you think of this like mess that we've got at the Reba tribe now?
I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, like it also could be if they don't go, well, we did see in the next one that they're going to merge, right? Merge is like literally next.
Yeah.
There is a world in where that entire situation like just gets forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, because there's going to be all these other people coming in. We're meeting new people. It almost now doesn't matter about that one stray vote because there's still many new people here. So I wonder if anybody cares.
Yeah.
Like at this point.
Right. It made it exciting for this episode, at least, like pre-challenge, because there were moments where I was watching it and like, so obviously like so much was happening. Like you have J. Maya kind of just throwing herself on the sword, being like, I'll tell Sifu that I was the vote for him. I'm on the outs.
What is that?
Right. Because they all think he has an idol. And we saw that he has a fake idol in this one, but they've been convinced for weeks that he had an idol.
Because that was my confusion too, is like, because I know that they have been talking about the idol before. I was like, is this what they're talking about? Or does he have something plus this fake idol? Like, I couldn't remember the conversations that we've seen.
He just has this fake idol because the idol that was at their original camp, Austin found.
Austin has that, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. So he has nothing. He's just building this fake.
Because I've been hearing about his idol for like 2 or 3 episodes now, I feel like. So when this whole segment happened, I was like, wait a second. Does he not have anything, or is this in addition to his idol?
Yeah. Does anyone know what J. Maya's strategy was for saying that the vote on Sifu was from her? What was the point of that?
What she wants to do is she wants to convince Sifu that she was the vote for him, that she's on the outs, and now to make him feel comfortable, the rest of the tribe will make Sifu think that they're all voting J. Maya out. That way, he feels good, he feels comfortable, doesn't use this idol that he has, which is a fake idol that they think is real.
And then vote him out.
And then they can all vote him out. So I think that's what her strategy is there.
I think that's really stupid.
Yeah, it's a bad strategy.
I think it's a very bad strategy because there's absolutely nothing to like base any trust on with Dee and Julie. Julie is her name, right? The other one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have? Like, Reba hasn't really seen tribals, right? It's not like this trust has ever been tested. So it's like, what what are you doing? Because you could paint yourself as the faux target, then all of a sudden find yourself as the target, and all of a sudden now people want to work with Sifu. like,
Mhm.
like it
Right,
can literally
right.
switch that fast. This has not been solidified. It's not tried and true.
Yeah, I mean, in the original Reba tribe, like that group of 6, there was a strong 4-person alliance, but that was between Julie, Dee, Austin, and Drew. J Maya and Sifu were always on the outs of that.
Right.
And when the tribes got swapped, like the whole feeling was stay Reba strong, let's vote Sean out. And it was J Maya that like led the charge to get Sifu out. So I guess she is just feeling like she must feel so confident in her trio of like Julie, Dee, and J Maya that she feels like somehow it's unbreakable. But she was always on the outside of what Julie and Dee had anyway. So I don't know why she feels that comfortable with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Her overconfidence is going to be the reason why she gets done in.
But she also like, and not to jump too far ahead in the episode, because I know this is a lot of order now, but like they were also making such a big deal about like, oh, so the next time that we're gonna vote, like we're gonna convince Sifu that he's good, then we're gonna vote him, blah, blah, blah. Like all of this gaming of the strategy of like who they're getting rid of. Oh, now actually maybe let's get rid of J Maya. And now like all this going on before the immunity challenge happened. And as I was watching it, I was like, okay, maybe this is gonna be a situation where like we throw the immunity challenge to make this plan happen. And then they gamed hard at the immunity challenge. And I was like, well, why are we doing all of this? Like, who are we going to vote out next? Like this immediate gaming and strategy of like, oh, we have to blindside this person and do this and do that. When like, there's no threat of you even going to tribal and you're not even trying to throw the competition to get you there to make it happen. I just don't understand why this conversation was happening now.
I think it was really just like coming back from that tribal, because for all of them, it was their first tribal. You know, for everyone except for Sean, who's out now, like that was their first tribal. And I feel like I could see them kind of just coming back being like panicked. Like we have to know what we're going to do if we lose. Because like Dee, she did come up with that in a confessional. She said at one point, she was like, well, if J Maya is just going to take the blame, like, why don't we just vote J Maya out? And it's just funny because J Maya is actually covering for Dee here. J Maya is cleaning up Dee's mess. And she's like, well, we could just vote her out.
Because she never meant anything. I don't know you,
Yeah.
Jay.
But,
yeah, well, and that's what she gets. Dumb plan. I would never take the fall for somebody else. Like that literally makes no sense. Right. I don't care how close we got in the game. If I didn't know you outside this house and like really know you, I'm not taking the blame. I'm not.
If I was the one to do it, I would lie my ass off and make sure you never knew it was me. Why would I pretend I did it if I didn't?
Yeah. No, it's just crazy. But those were all the notes that I had for Reba pre-challenge. Okay. So we can now move on to, I think Belo was the next tribe we saw. And for them, we saw that they were just completely starving. This gave me one of my favorite moments of the episode when Kendra tried to eat the worm and then failed miserably and just spat it back out.
I had a bad time with this.
You didn't like this?
I did not like this at all.
Damn, I should have clipped it for you.
No, you shouldn't have. That's not nice.
I'll have it ready next time. Don't worry.
Don't.
It also was like a live worm. Like, I don't know, like she could have at least like smashed him up. So he just
that was the other thing too. Was like
because I'm sure he probably like curled up in her throat. And
right. She also she tried to swallow it like a pill, and it's like, listen, none of this is good at all. But at least like make sure it's not alive when you do that.
Right? Because once it gets in your stomach, what happens then? Do you feel a flutter? Like what happened? Oh, God. Especially because there's nothing in there but water. He's just swimming.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
No, right? I hate it. Oh.
I think it was Brando who was like, yeah, 70% protein, 30% poop.
Bad. 100% bad.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Would you what do you think? Like, would you throw it in and like take a bite? So that way, you know.
I would rather starve.
And then swallow it?
No. I think I would literally crush him like on a log, and then with some water and wash down, so it just slides right down. We don't really taste it, we don't really feel it. It just goes down in a big wash. But if it's alive, it's like
I would
all the way down.
Starve.
Exactly.
I would starve.
Your impression of a worm, Kyle. was
That's how they move.
fantastic.
Because they kind of it's very rapid. No.
I can't say I've ever seen a worm do this, but you know what? I'll take your word for it.
Oh man, that is fantastic.
Owl Watch. What are these questions? No, I would not eat crickets. If Sean told me to vote him out, no, I would not. That's not what I want. It's not about you. There's so many questions here. Absolutely not. If y'all had heard Sean tell you to vote him out, no. I said Sifu. Do you guys agree?
Yep.
Like, what would you have done?
I mean,
I thought Dee was a thug for that. She's like, "Oh, you want to go home, Sean?" Seafood.
It's just hard when there was no like conversation, because like that would have been a baller move if they all decided like we're gonna keep doing what we're doing because he wants to go home anyway. Maybe he'll leave and we'll get rid of 2 people. I don't care. But like to just do it and not know if anyone else is gonna be with you on it was like so risky. I don't know.
Right. She's like, "No, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm doing.
yeah. See, I don't know. It's got to be hard in the moment, but like the camera shots that we got I thought made it pretty clear that Jay, Maya, and Julie were going to change their votes. And I guess I'd be worried, like, if our tribe voted out, if let's say you went along and voted out Sifu and kept Sean, like, are you going to get back to camp and he's just going to quit anyway? And then you end up down 2 people? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what
like,
I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, well, the person I wanted to go left. At that
Right,
point,
and if you get rid of 2 people, that means there's less people. Bye.
Yeah. My path to the finish line just cleared out. Closer and closer.
Yeah. But all right. There was another interesting thing in the Bello tribe, by the way, where Brando started to bond with Drew over some nerdy things like Pokemon and playing games and stuff. And Brando tried to propose this nerd alliance with Emily and Drew. Brando immediately got shot down by Drew. Drew was like, "No, I don't want any part of this." In his confessional, he called it garbage. The idea of this alliance.
I was surprised actually by that.
Yeah, I was gonna. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Was Drew like? Should he have just kind of gone along with it? Like,
I think so. Even if your plan was to get, I don't know, like what is the harm in not? I would have said yes until I see how the tides turn. Because this conversation, was this before the immunity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have just entertained it. Yeah, okay, let's be nerds. Yeah, we'll be nerds.
Yeah.
Unless the tides shift, then you out.
It's a numbers game. Like, if you build up whatever numbers you can. It's like if someone comes up to you and says, "Do you want to be in an alliance?" You never say no. Like, you always yes and everything that everyone's saying until you find the thing that actually works for you.
Improv 2.0. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just go with it and see where things go. Because if you say no and then you don't win this immunity challenge and all of a sudden things are against you, well, now you can't come back and say, "I want to do this nerd thing," because you didn't want to do it a half hour ago. Or however much time goes by. I realize it's more than that in an actual week. Or whatever their time is. My half hour. But you know what I mean.
I think it could have been an interesting alliance too, because each one of them, Emily, Brando, and Drew, were all members of different tribes in the beginning. So, if the 3 of them make it to the merge, you might be able to pull in some people and make a nice little group there,
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. I feel like in this kind of game, like somebody comes to you with an alliance, like, isn't that like kind of the standard thing is be like, don't shut it down?
That's what we do in Big Brother. Everything is yes.
So I don't know. Very interesting. But a worm for my birthday. Thank you, Liz. Thank you.
Oh, just so that Liz is
Happy
up to
Mon
date,
birthday.
there was a request made before you got here. John is looking for a birthday Lidl from Gina. All right, so lay the pressure on. She's got until about 11:30 at night, at least 11:30.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So now they're back to crickets and worms. We're out of here. Y'all have your own conversation.
But yes. So Brando gets shot down by Drew. This puts Brando right back into Kendra's corner. So it's back to Emily being in the middle of the 2 Reba members and the 2 Bello members on the new Bello tribe. At the Lulu tribe, we had a very scary moment again where Jake fainted again.
My husband.
And I have to say, I'm very glad that Kelly is there. It like actually makes me feel better that Kelly, as a critical care nurse, is there. In
Like,
case,
yes,
like,
but also why have, and maybe it's happened and we're just not seeing it. Why are we not seeing medical come in and make sure he's okay? This is the second time
yeah,
that
I don't
he's
know.
had a seizure on this island. Like, why aren't we seeing them, like, production wise, making sure that things are good?
I don't know if they're going and we're just not being shown it.
I
Like, it
hope
is
so.
weird. Yeah, it is weird to me that somebody isn't just like, let me just check your blood pressure. Let me just check
Yeah.
this out just to make sure.
You
'Cause,
know, I
we
didn't even
could've,
think about that. You're absolutely right. This man is passing out all over the place,
because
and
yeah, like the first time you can blame
nobody
it on the
has a
smoke
single
and you
fuck
can
to give.
you can blame it on the smoke, you can blame it on whatever the first time. Now it happened just like out in the open and he was walking and just fell over. Now you need to take it a little
Yeah.
more seriously and say, okay, let's just give you like a quick, take your vitals real quick or something. Just like a quick evaluation
Right.
from the medical team on production.
You're completely right. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I thought we were going to see medical after the first time it happened. So not seeing them after the second time is weird, but it does make me feel, like I said, just a tiniest bit better that there's a nurse there in Jake's tribe, just in case,
I'm also happy that she's there though, because if somebody else sees that, they could start thinking that maybe he's somebody who's weak or something like that. And she was actually kind of like dispelling some of that. She was saying, listen, like, you're hungry, you're dehydrated, you got up too fast. Like, so me as another tribe mate that maybe doesn't know him as well, I'd be like, all right, that could really happen to any of us. He's just got to slow it down a little bit. Versus what we saw with, what was his name? I think Brandon, because it's Brando. I think Brandon was the first one that was having a rough go. Yeah. And everybody just saw him as weak. So I think that her being there to kind of validate some of that helps him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt so bad for him too, because you see how like annoyed he's getting with these little scares that he's having, these 2 times at camp now. But like Jake always does really well in the challenges and stuff like that. So
he delivers.
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. It's just,
but when people
weird.
are looking for a reason to get rid of someone, they just choose anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that person had the last grain of rice. Get them out of here. So they.
Right.
Yeah.
But I hope this was.
I appreciate Kyle's name change, because I literally wrote in my notes for this episode, will Jake give me a kiss? Like, I think he is so cute. I love him.
He's so cute. I love his accent. I just want to nurse him back to health. You come over to Hampton Bays, baby. I'll give you all the food and the water you need.
I also appreciated the tweet that Liz tagged us in of him playing the lion in his high school.
Oh, we share a
Oh my God.
We share a kinship.
He's for us.
He is.
That was really awesome.
Yeah. Love Jake.
So I really hope this was the last scare for Jake. Hopefully the rest of the season for him is just.
I hope so too.
But yeah, there is some interesting stuff going on in Lulu. Jake and Gina.
I ship it.
There you go. So Caleb's social game at Lulu is unreal. I have to tell you, like, Caleb is such an insane social player. We saw at one point Katura get caught. She was by herself at the camp. Everyone else had gone off. And Katura decided, I'm going to go look around for an idol. And of course, she got caught.
Yes.
Caleb called out her name. And everybody was very suspicious of her. But Caleb took the time to take her aside and build some trust with her. And like, it's just amazing, because then we saw Caleb go from Katura and turn that whole awkward situation into a benefit for him. We see him talking to Bruce. We know Jake is like very interested in working with him. And then Caleb winds up with Kelly, who I think Caleb's feeling very good about working with. And he actually let some information go to Kelly that Sabaya had found the idol at that camp in the candle wax, and she left with it. So is there just no idol? Like, did you think that an idol would have been brought back to the Lulu camp by now for someone to find or something like that? Like,
I mean, like, normally that is what we get, but I don't know if because it had such a like journey to get it in play, if it like is the same as putting like a regular idol back in. You know what I mean? Like, she had the whole like candle aspect to it, and there were so many steps before she was able to use it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because
I feel
because
like all bets
Austin,
are off in this world.
yeah, Austin found the one at Reba. Sabaya had the one from Lulu. Did anyone ever find the one from Bello? I don't even remember.
No.
So like
Hmm.
the Bello camp, there could still be an idol out there somewhere, and then Lulu, I guess there's just none there because Sabaya left with the only one that they had put there. I don't know. It feels like it almost feels like there's not enough idols out there right now. You know, like
I'll get to that after. I was going to say something about an advantage, but it will spoil who left, and we will get there.
oh yeah. Okay, so we get to one last thing before we get to the daily challenge. It looks like Caleb might be kind of seeing what Katura is seeing in Bruce. That moment when Caleb is sitting there being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go collect some firewood, get some firewood from the beach, and Bruce being like, are you gonna gather firewood or are you gonna talk about gathering firewood? That would have pissed me off so much.
That's kind of rough.
I would not have been able to keep my mouth shut. I'm hungry, which means I'm probably hangry. Like at this point, I'm gonna let this old man try and tell me what I should and should not be doing.
Yeah, that was not a great one.
No, that was not a great one. I would like to circle back on Caleb for just a quick moment, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I'm getting concerned with him. You know, there are in one aspect I can say he's very, very good at making connections. Like he did make a comment during this whole thing, like I'm really good with the one-on-one things. And he absolutely is. He definitely seems to be winning people over to his side. I'm starting to feel like we're going to get a repeat of Tyler from Big Brother, where we're getting a situation where we are making too many good connections with people that are one-on-one that is going to make people feel burned later in the game. When you start having to work against them, because his connections feel a little bit too personal in a way. We're not connecting on on a game level. I'm connecting with you because I'm making you feel very special. I'm making you feel valued, which is certainly part of, obviously the social game of this, but like all the one-on-ones can get him in trouble. Like some of this stuff is feeling like, like Tyler and Sam, remember how sour that got? Yeah. So I don't know. I just want to go on record having said that. Like that was kind of the vibe I was getting.
That checks out.
That's definitely a good call because he, like you said, he definitely has a lot of one-on-ones with people. And if we are moving into this merge phase, he's a great competitor. So if everybody is kind of now comparing and being like, oh, I have this relationship with Caleb, and you have the same relationship with Caleb, and this person does too, and this person, and then he's winning immunity challenges, he could very quickly become like a very high target on everybody's list.
Yeah, he definitely could become a target. But I guess you also don't have the same risk as involved in Big Brother, right? Because simply because you win immunity, you're not responsible now for putting up two people.
Yeah.
So you're certainly not getting the same level of blowback. And I guess there's always a world in which we can have different arguments about how the votes went and who did what. So I guess there's a little bit more outs in this situation than you have in Big Brother.
A little more leeway.
Yeah. But I think it'll be interesting. It's kind of be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So next we had an immunity and reward challenge. 2 winning tribes get immunity, and the winning tribe, first place, gets 10 fresh fish and everything they need to cook those fish. Right. Second place, along with immunity, gets 5 fresh fish, which still sounds great to me.
Right. It's a fish each.
Yeah. This was a pretty fun competition, though. They had sort of like this obstacle course. Each player had to run through, collect a number of bags that had these keys in them. And then once they got all their bags, you had another player that had to find the correct key, unlock it, unlock this big hook, and then untie like a satchel that had tons of sandbags in it. Then they had to use the sandbags to shoot a slingshot and knock down 3 targets. The slingshots were making me nervous during this episode. I don't know about you guys. Because
I have PTSD about slingshots.
Specifically like Caleb's last shot. There was the last shot of the whole competition that he took. He like wound up, his face is right behind it, and I just was having flashbacks of Olivia in the challenge. Yeah. But thankfully no mishaps this time. Reba absolutely killed it, though. There were moments pre-challenge that they were talking so hard about game and like trying to trick Sifu to vote him out, or flipping the vote to get J Maya out, that before the immunity challenge started, I just assumed that Reba was going to tribal. I was like,
well, and that's
damn.
what I was saying before. Like, I saw
Right.
all of that conversation happening. I was like, there's no way they're not throwing this challenge to get themselves to like tribal. I don't know why else we would be doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think part of it too is like we spent so much time. Like we've had episodes where we got to like challenges pretty quickly, whether it was a reward or immunity or something. And in this one, we had like a solid like half hour or more of like just visiting the tribes and getting game talk between everybody. So yeah, but Reba, they won. They absolutely killed it. They got immunity and 10 fish. And then Bello, they lose. They're going to tribal council. So Lulu got second place, immunity, and 5 fish.
I was so confused because I was like, what is Emily doing cheering for Bello?
Yeah, that was
Yo,
weird.
Lulu! Because she was still wearing yellow. It's like, somebody get her a new top.
That has
Confusing
thrown me. Yeah, that has thrown me a couple of times. Like people wearing different clothes than what their buff color buff there is. Like that has thrown me a couple of times. But
I hate it.
Now Reba, because they won, they had some power. They had to choose one person from each tribe, so 3 people total to go on this journey. J Maya was the representative from Reba. Then they picked Kelly from what was that? That was Lulu, because Kelly was very upset about having to sit out of the challenge. So they chose her to go on the journey, and then Austin was chosen from the New Bello tribe. The reason that was given for Austin being chosen, that J Maya said, was because they know Austin. He's an original Reba member. So they want to know if they can, meet back up with him and get some information about what's going on the other side. Which I thought was kind of a strange way to explain this. I feel like you're putting a big
in front
target.
of everybody.
Like if you want to try to like bring Reba back together after the merge, like I feel like Austin's not going to like that. It puts a big target on him. Now everybody at Bello could be thinking like, what are you... Yeah, exactly. I thought that was very strange.
Yeah, I don't know who that was supposed to serve. I don't think that did anyone any favors.
Yeah.
So this journey with J Maya, Kelly, and Austin, they basically had to hike up this mountain immediately after doing J Maya FBJs again. Thanks, Matt.
The fact that it's being used as a verb is what I'm loving.
To FBJ.
Over here, FBJing all over the place. I'm so stupid.
So the 3 of them had to trek to the top of this mountain. And once they got up there, they had an option. They could either choose sustenance or a strategy, an advantage. It had to be majority rules. So whoever voted, the 2 people that voted for, whichever one that won out, that's what they got. Austin desperately wanted the sandwich that they were offered, which I wasn't surprised about, because Austin, I feel like, has a ton of advantages already. And we saw the Bello tribe specifically, like, daydreaming about food, Kendra trying to eat worms. So I wasn't surprised that Austin wanted the food. But Kelly and J Maya wanted the advantage, which was these amulets. Yeah, Austin is really pissed he didn't get a sandwich. He's about to go on the warpath. So we had these 3 amulets, and what we found out was that they all had to be played together. But the less amulets that are in the game, so as amulets leave the game, the ones that are remaining gain power. So if there's 3 amulets in the game, I guess what do they have to do? When did they have to decide this? Also, is it like at the immunity challenge that day or something? Because if there's 3, you can get an extra vote. About. Yeah. If there's 3 amulets and they decide to use them, it has the power of an extra vote. If there's 2 amulets and they decide to use them, it has the power of steal a vote. And then if there's only 1 amulet left, it has the power of a full idol. So I'm curious to see how this sort of works, if they have to all declare it like at the daily challenge or something, or what. But yeah, it seemed like Kelly and J Maya were now convinced that they had like a new alliance, like this new pact, like the Amulet Alliance. But Austin has declared that he is going on the warpath. Will make sure that they go out before him so that he has the power of a full idol, and that's his revenge for not getting his sandwich. Kyle, I know you already kind of mentioned you didn't love this journey, right?
No. Well, I think I'm over journeys just in general. Um, I don't like cooperative idols and advantages. I think that if you
Yeah.
have an advantage, it should just be yours. Stop trying to force the tribe melding. If you want different people to be working together during merge, and you should have just two tribes and just do it the way you're supposed to and stop playing
Right.
words.
It's like this feels reminiscent of like the broccolis or tiny trees
Right.
crap.
We
that
don't
you're
need any
getting.
of this. We don't need any of this. It's
Yeah,
whack.
and butterflies or dead relatives or something,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And, yeah.
Very dumb. Very, very dumb. I do think it creates an interesting situation because now Austin is going on the offense and wants to get them out in order for his advantage to mean a little bit more. But I guess we just have to see how that plays out. I will say that sandwich did not look pathetic. I didn't see hardly no meat in there. There's like a lot of lettuce, tomato, and bread. There ain't no
Yeah.
sustenance. And that had been sitting out for some time because that pitcher of drink had a lot of condensation. So how long did y'all have that out there? I'm like, you know what? I might as well just take a sorry ass amulet because this sandwich has just been sitting in the heat.
It's not even a satisfying sandwich when you get to it. The cheese
No.
is
Did you see
melted,
any
but not in like a
condiments?
good
I
way.
saw no mustard. I didn't see any mayonnaise. Not that I want my mayonnaise sitting out in the sun, but I mean, like, you get some ice. You know, Jeff has some in his villa.
That's right. That's right.
All right, go down to the Ponderosa. Can I just get a bucket of ice, please? Come on.
I do have to say, now that I'm like thinking about it more too, like this episode really kind of was freaking me out a little bit because on my team, I have Austin, Jay Maya, Emily, and Sifu.
Yeah.
And right now you have Jay Maya going after Sifu,
Messy as hell.
which is probably going to turn against Jay Maya because it looks like D wants to vote out Jay Maya now.
Yes.
Then you had Sifu doing that whole martial arts thing, and I like to catch my opponents off guard, and Jay Maya taking that as a threat. And then now you have Austin coming after Jay Maya because she wouldn't let him have his sandwich and made him take the amulet.
Your team's imploding a bit. Huh?
I guess so. I guess so.
And then Emily is just in the middle of like everything, like kind of working with Austin. Like I don't know. Everything's kind of like getting a little scary on my team. I feel like they're gonna eat each other.
Well, my team's getting decimated, so Team Petty's having a rough go.
You still got some good people in there though. Okay, now it did set up some interesting things, by the way, Austin being on the journey, because now Drew was left as the sole Reba member. You know, Drew and Austin are each other's closest allies. And after Brando's whole Nerd Alliance idea got shot down by Drew, he decided to go back to Drew and say, listen, I want to offer you my shot in the dark. Okay? I'm going to give you my shot in the dark. And this is my sign to you that I'm loyal, that I'm ready to work with you, that I'm willing to vote out a Bello member. And if you want to vote out Kendra, I'm happy to help you do that. Drew said, don't give me your shot in the dark. It's not necessary. And then Brando leaves, and Drew immediately tells Emily that Brando is just throwing Kendra under the bus. Emily then goes to Brando and says, Drew told me that you threw Kendra under the bus. Both are denying it was their idea. Emily doesn't know who to believe. So it sets up this really interesting sort of dynamic where Drew is kind of freaking out now because Emily kind of straight up told Drew, like, I don't know if I can believe you. So a lot of chaos with the Velo tribe. Any thoughts on the goings on for them? Because this is them going into their first, well, for everybody except for Emily, their first tribal council. And Austin not being there to back up Drew was definitely interesting because I think Austin's got a little bit more of the handle on the social side of the game. So,
oh yeah,
I have no comments. It was your basic case of misdirection. I kind of just felt bad for Brando. He tried to make something happen. I
wonder,
you want to say it felt smart in the moment, like what he was trying to do there, but
it was just so sloppy.
You're right. You can't. Yeah, it wasn't executed well, but I guess trying to make sure if you can talk to somebody that you don't really intend to work with and get them convinced that you're going a certain way, that does offer you some security in saying, listen, I know how they're going to vote, so I know that our blind side will work. So there is some value in that, but this wasn't executed well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was sloppy.
I don't know if I would have gone back to Drew too. Like the minute he shot down my Nerd Alliance the first time, I don't know if I would have gone right back to him and now try to make some other deal.
Right. That's it.
I
You're
don't know.
done. Now you're a target because you said no.
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
I wanted to work with you and you said no. So now I have to target you like that. That's it.
Yeah. Do you think it could turn into an issue for Drew at any point that seems to be totally unwilling, like, to listen to anybody else? Like right now, it seems like he's only. I mean, obviously everything's going to change because we saw on the next on it looks like we're heading into a merge. So like they might all of a sudden be back into an alliance of their 4 or whatever. But like, could it turn into a problem for Drew if he keeps turning people down when they come to him with alliances and stuff like that? And like, I don't know. It just seems interesting to me that like he's not willing to play ball at all.
No, I think it definitely could become a problem because if Austin goes, then what is Drew's backup plan? And like that's why we don't say no to people in their alliance propositions, because once your ride or die is out, like what? Because especially because you said no, people will start seeing you as a target. But other people have already set up their ride or dies, so now just kind of floating in the sea.
And I feel like you don't want to earn a reputation of being like, if somebody's trying to rally numbers, like once we merge, right? If somebody's trying to rally numbers and, you've already earned the reputation of being like, no, Drew has no interest in working with anyone outside of just his closest allies. Like people are going to see no value in you.
Right.
Like,
right.
Let's just get him out of here.
Can't say no to everything.
Yeah. But all right. I mean, Austin came back. They kind of talked to Emily again, and we went to Tribal Council, not really knowing for sure, I feel like, exactly what was going to happen at Tribal because Emily was so stuck in the middle. Do I side with Kendra and Brando? Do I side with Austin and Drew? So it's interesting how Emily was literally on the way to being voted out in week 1, and now she finds herself kind of like the deciding vote in Tribal Council in week 5. So obviously there was a lot of back and forth in Tribal Council. This wasn't like a very exciting Tribal Council to me, really. There weren't really any explosive moments. Were there any moments to you guys?
No.
The only thing that was fun about it was like after the votes were read, seeing like some of the reactions, but that was still just like a very like quick.
Specifically Kendra.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel bad for her. What is she going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so we had
going to merge. So I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry, boy, you jump in.
So we had 2 votes, 2 on the first, the first 4 votes came out. 2 came out for Drew, 2 came out for Brando. Emily, the deciding vote, decides to vote out Brando. So she threw her luck in with Austin and Drew. So Brando is the first original Bello member to leave. Up to this point, we'd only seen original Lulu members leave, even after the tribe swap. So as it stands, like we said, it looks like we're going into this merge. There's going to be 6 remaining original Reba members, 5 Bello members, and now what is it? Only 2? 2 Lulu members, right?
Yep.
So that's what we've got going in. 13 remaining players. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else on that next on that looked interesting or anything like that. But that's pretty much all I have for the episode, unless I'm forgetting anything. Do you guys?
No, there was one quick thing I wanted to circle back to now that we talked about Brando getting eliminated. Because we had talked earlier about how in the premiere episode, production didn't show that there was a whole advantage where like Kendra got to go to another tribe and she got to gather information and all that, and we never got to see it.
Oh, right.
There was a similar thing that I heard Brando talking about in one of his exit interviews where when they first did the tribe swap and he got his buff and he was holding it in his hand, it like felt weird. And he was like, oh, what's going on here? And he like opened it a little bit and there was a piece of parchment in his buff. And since everybody was around, he just took it and pocketed it and was like, oh shit, I can't really open this in front of everybody. And then he said that later on, either in the day or the next day, whatever it was, production pulled him aside. It was like, show me what you have in your pocket. And he gave it to them and they pocketed it and left with it. So he was like, I am assuming that what that was supposed to be was something that I had to open at Tribe Swap that would have given me the ability to either change what tribe I was on or to change what tribe somebody, like swap out 2 other people and 2 other tribes or something like that. But because he didn't open the parchment right then and there, production just like grabbed it and took it from him. I feel so like I don't understand why they would have expected him to open it up in front of everybody and be like, oh, what do I have in my buff? Like it just everything about it just feels so strange. And I don't know why we're still putting all of these random advantages that may or may not even get the chance to come to fruition all over this game.
It sounds like a very poorly executed twist because I don't see anybody opening that up in front of the whole.
Who would? I mean, it's like when you're the person sitting out on the bench and you find something in the bench, you're not going to open it during the challenge and be like, oh, I wonder if I can change something right now. No, you're going to put it in your pocket. Right. You're going to open it when you're alone.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's weird. That's very weird. Matt, so they should have had bright fucking letters on it that say open now.
Right. Say like open at Tribe Swap or something. Like otherwise, literally nobody's going to open that in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I would love to know then who actually thought that was a good idea then. Because, like they didn't just decide this. It's not like one person's like, I'm responsible for all the twists. Beep, boop, beep, boop, and I print on the parchment. No, like people sat around a table and discussed it and all agreed that this is how we should deliver it. Like, yeah?
Yeah.
But like he didn't even get to read what it might have been. Like production literally was like, give me what you have in your pocket.
Gosh, I'd love to know what it was.
Do you think it's something that could come back if we're getting the merge coming and everyone gets new buffs again? Could they hide it in another buff and maybe we'll get a different result?
Well, I mean, assuming it was related to what tribe, because again, he was saying, I assume that it was like once everybody's tribes are set, I have the ability to swap people. So if everyone is on one merged tribe,
so it wouldn't
it's not
make
really
sense.
Matter.
Yeah. So it would have to be some other kind of advantage. Yeah. I don't know. That's a bummer to hear, though. I would have loved to see what that was. I didn't even catch that when they were giving the buffs out of the tribe swap. So
they didn't put it in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I knew what it was.
Yeah, I only know about it because he was talking about it in one of his exit interviews, and it got like clipped somewhere.
All right. Maybe Jeff will tell us at some point. After the season or something. But all right. Well, I'm excited to see what we get with this merge coming up. I do think it's interesting if we're going to go into the merge with 13, or is it going to be? You think it's going to be like a mergatory thing where nobody's on a tribe for like a week or whatever, and then we cut someone else or something like that? And because I think it would be very interesting to go in now, because I feel like Emily has gotten pretty close with Austin and Drew. So if Reba reunites and Emily's kind of with them, and then you have Bello minus Brando, the original Bello, and like Caleb has been spending most of his time with them, you could have like a Bello and Reba war with just Caleb and Emily on opposite sides, which could be interesting. But I don't know. We'll see. Anything else for the benefit of the community regarding Survivor 45?
No, I think I'm satisfied. Can we get a quick glimpse of where everybody's team is at before we get out of here?
Let's do it.
How are we doing? I know Team Patty's having a rough go.
Gina is down Hannah, but still has Caleb, Kelly, and Julie in the game.
Still pretty strong.
I'm satisfied with those people.
For the meantime.
Mikey has Dee, Bruce, Katura, and Drew.
That's right. His time is coming.
Yeah.
Because Bruce is not going to make it too long.
Bruce and Katura are one of them is going to skin the other one alive. So
I also think that Katura, like, going so hard on her distaste for Bruce could turn people off to her. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes going into merge.
Yeah. I'm still doing okay right now, but I'm getting a little nervous. A little nervous for this here.
Yeah,
It seems
there's
like
troubles in your waters for
Yeah, it's-
sure.
I feel like I'm on very tenuous ground here. Like it seems like some of my
Yes,
players
you
are starting
are.
to look at each other, so I'm nervous.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then Kyle still has
Ooh.
Jake and Kendra here, but has lost
Yeah,
Samaya
that's
and
the thing though.
Brenda.
Like the people that you have left are solid people, you know? Like yeah,
They
you've
are.
lost
They
two,
could
but you
carry
have
me.
Kendra and Jake. Like that's a pretty good duo.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. They could carry me. They could carry me a little farther.
Yeah.
I'll at least get somebody who makes it to jury. I do believe that at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. One of my people will be in the finale, one way or the other.
I also feel like,
But-
you know, I don't see Jake and Kendra being like early merge targets, and I feel like all it takes is for like me and Mikey to lose one person, and you're only one, you know, one behind all of us then. So
Right.
So-
There's some hope for me. There's some hope for me, but it's
couple
not
weeks,
a great
yeah,
start.
couple weeks from now
your
we could
boy
all be
KP.
very even. So
At least in this draft, we're a little bit more even than we were in the Big Brother draft by this point. It's like me and Kyle were sitting pretty, and John's team was just picking each other off like flies.
I feel
That
like-
is true.
how so when Jared left, so that was right after the zombie twist.
Yeah.
That has to be like a month ago, right? How long ago is that?
You've been out of
Yeah.
the race for quite some time.
Yeah.
Team Dumphy has been out of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
For a while.
I'm just
Yeah.
on the sidelines rooting you guys on. So,
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
but speaking of Big Brother, our night is not over because our Survivor
No, it's
coverage
not.
is wrapping up. But we are about to jump over to the other room, and we're going to talk about Big Brother 25.
Yes, we are
We'll talk
already
about,
late.
Yes, we are late. So we're going to get into Big Brother 25 tonight. I guess a few minutes after we sign off from here, we'll be talking about last night's episode of Big Brother and some spoilers and stuff like that.
I only need 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then Thursday we're going to do what, 10:15 p.m. We're going to talk Challenge 39.
Oh, right.
Right.
Would that be 10:15 p.m. then? Does that work?
Yeah.
I think it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10:15 p.m. we'll confirm offline, but you know,
Yeah, 10:15 sounds good.
Yeah.
I just hate the 15. Like, I
Mm.
just wish it was a rounder number.
I know.
But I don't want to push it off to 10:30 because that means we're not doing Big Brother until 11:30. And I
Right.
certainly don't want to do 10, hightailing it right after BBN.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
So Challenge 39
I guess it's
episodes 1 and 2, 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, and then Big
Mhm.
Brother 25. Just covering the rest of the week in the Big Brother house at 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. That's on
Mhm.
Thursday.
another double for
Yes.
us, not them.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been another edition of Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Throw us a like, a comment, a subscription. Hang out with us. We're fun. We're going to
Yeah,
try to
it's all
get Gina to Lidl on the next stream. She didn't do it on this one, so
Yeah.
we'll try it again.
Still
next
got
time.
another hour to get it
Yeah.
in.
It is my birthday, so I'll be I'm gonna have a really rough night if Gina doesn't Lidl by the end of the next stream.
Oh
So,
my god.
You're right.
all right,
Well,
we'll see you later.